Shock loss this past weekend over in Italy. That sees Internazionale take over top spot. What am I talking about? Well, I'll tell you next. That's right, folks, back once again with another video today. It's all about match day number 27 in Serie A. We'll get to it in a second. If you're new where you've been, smash your subscribe button. You want to subscribe for Serie A, Blackburn Rovers, World Football. We're going to all hear under one roof here. That's right. Napoli losing to Como, goodness gracious me, to fall down to the second spot with Internazionale taking over top bins. We'll take a look at all that and more in a second. If you're new where you've been, hit the old subscribe. You want to stop shop for Serie A is right here. Also, big shout out to the members, big shout out to the patrons. You know who you are. What we're going to do now, though, is revisit those last round of games, of course, bring you bang up to date with the Superbru, and then look forward to this weekend's action. So here we go. That's right, looking back at the games, and these were them. Of course, Lecce losing to Udinese, 1-0 winners. I went with a 2-1 win myself. Parma did beat Bologna. I went the other way. Wow. Venezia did draw with Lazio 0-0. I went with the 2-1 away win. And yeah, pressure is on AC Milan. Goodness gracious me, 2-1 winners for Torino. I went with the draw. Internazionale did beat Genoa 1-0 win. I went with a 3-0 win. Here it is. The Como's 2-1 win over Napoli. I went the other way. Verona with a 1-0 win over Fiorentina. I went with the all draw there. Atalanta with a big 5-0 win over Empoli. I went with a 2-1 win. Juventus did beat Cagliari 1-0. I went with a 1-0 as well. And Roma did beat Monza 4-0. I went with a 3-0 win as well. So pretty iffy sort of picks there. Not good, not great. Did okay. But this is the table as we see it. It is Inter currently with 1 point clear over Napoli. Atalanta are still back in the title race and can be in top spot this weekend with a bit of a goal swing. Juventus also trying to get themselves into that discussion as well. Lazio make up the Power 5. Milan are in 7th right now and they need Champions League, it looks like. Monza, Venezia and Empoli are going down. But that's, of course, the state of play over there. What about the state of play over in the Superbru? Well, we're going to try and bring that to you right here, right now. So hold on. Here we go. An updated Superbru. That's right. KP21 with a respectable 13 points this past weekend. Vinny Hung alongside him and O'Connor in silver. And then Dream Marley and Barlow, 9.5. That make up bronze. I got 7.5, pretty grim stuff. Yeah, a lot of people really taking the heat. Of course, the table, though, looks like this. Tayabi is the main man, 276, kicking ass, taking names, Raymond Ramsey, though. On his coattails there, summer 2018 makes up the bronze. I'm out down to 12th. Again, falling out the top 10, not too good. If you see a name in there, every single one of you, please smash that like. I could do with some likes to boost the old content there. Appreciate the loving over there. What we're going to do now, though, is, of course, look forward to the next round of games, and there's some absolute crackers on store. Make sure you check this out if you want to get any predictions in, of course, and we'll see how you do. Alrighty, folks, the action this weekend actually takes place this coming Friday, the 28th of February. We'll get to that game in just a second. There is one match taking place on Thursday, the 27th of February. That's a catch-up game. It is Bologna, it is AC Milan. Of course, both sides were in Champions League action most recently, over recent times. I'm not going to go into it too detailed. It is a very high-pressure game for AC Milan, Sergio Conceição, against the Bologna side, who are also in that outside pack, trying to get themselves into Champions League reckoning, or at least European reckoning. Difficult one to call, and again, we're not going to go into too much detail. Of course, the bookies, they do have AC Milan slight favourite here, but only just. It is very, very touch and go. I'm actually going to go with a surprise 2-1 win for Bologna on this one. Both sides in and around about 40-point mark or something like that. Yeah, they could both do with a win, getting them close to the European competition, and also the pressure will mount considerably on AC Milan. I know, of course, if that was the case, will Milan and Sergio Conceição still be together when they come up to this ding-dong affair, AC Milan against Lazio? We'll talk about that whenever it comes around. But anyway, let's get back on action here. It is the 20th of Feb. It's Fiorentina. It's Lecce. Come with the Stelio Armento Franchi. Rafael Palladino's boys are 6th in the table on the back of with 42 points with 3 defeats on the row. Up against Lecce and Marco Giampaolo. They're down to 16th right now, 25 points for the campaign. They played 25 times since 1997, 10 wins Fiorentina, 7 wins Lecce. There's been 8 draws between the two sides. Last time around over at this very venue, it was a 2-2 draw back in August 2023. The reverse fixture, a 6-0 win for Fiorentina way back in October October on match day number 8. Fiorentina on the back of that 1-0 loss to Verona makes it back-to-back games without a goal. Lecce on the back of that 1-0 loss to Udinese, also 3 games without a goal. The odds for this one, 17-13 on is your Fiorentina, 17-4 is your Lecce, 27-10 is the draw. We're going to go 2-0 winners, Fiorentina taking it to the house. Atalanta, excuse me, up against Venezia coming into the Guais Stadium this weekend. Gianpiero Gasparini's boys, third in the table, 54 points for the campaign. 2 wins in the last 6, they're on 42% form up against Venezia, who are winless in the last 9. They're down to 19th right now, 17 points for the season. They played 9 times in 2001, 6 wins Atalanta, 2 wins Venezia. There's been just 1 draw between the two sides. Last time around at the Guais, it was a 2-0 win for Atalanta. That was back in January 2022 in the round of 16, the Coppa Italia. Last time they played at the league, though, at this venue, it was a 4-0 win for Atalanta. Meanwhile, the reverse fixture, a 2-0 win for Atalanta in Venezia to make it 4 wins on the spin. Only conceding 1 goal against Venezia over the last 4 matches. Atalanta on the back of that 5-0 win over Empoli, bouncing back from the Champions League exit. Venezia with that 0-0 draw against Lazio to make it 3 games, though, without a goal. The odds for this one, 92 on is your Atalanta, 14-1 is your Venezia, 16-1, 6-1 is the draw. We are going 3-0 Atalanta, taking it to the house. Next up, we have the absolute biggest game of the season. It's Napoli, it's Inter. It's coming at you the Stadio Diego Armando Maradona Stadium. Napoli under Antonio Conte are second right now, 56 points for the season, but they've winless in the last 4, of course. Up against Inter, Simone Inzaghi, they're top of the pops, 57 points for the season, just 1 defeat in the last 6. 54 times they've played since 1993, 17 wins for Napoli, 23 wins for Inter. There's been 14 draws between the two sides, including a draw when they last played at the in Milan back in November. It was a 1-1 draw. The reverse fixture, last time around, it was a 3-0 win for Inter way back in December 2023. Inter actually unbeaten against Napoli over the last 4, picking up a couple of draws and a couple of wins. They're on the back of that 2-0 win over Lazio in the Coppa Italia. Napoli losing to Como, goodness gracious me. But the odds here, 9-4 is your Napoli, 16-11 is your Inter, 11-5 is the draw. I am, unfortunately, going to sit on the fence on this one. I'm going to go with the 2-2 thriller because Napoli cannot afford to lose this. Otherwise, I think the title's won. I think it's such a humongous game this weekend. Meanwhile, Udinese taking on Parma, coming out to the Stadio Friuli. Udinese and Kostic Runic unbeaten in the last 4. They're 10th for the table, 36 points for the season. Up against Parma under Christian Jürgen Schuvo. That's right, they're down to 17th right now, 23 points for the season. And have played Udinese 47 times since 1993. 16 wins Udinese, 20 wins for Parma. There's been 11 draws between the two sides. Last time around over at the Friuli, it was a 3-2 win for Udinese back in October 2020. The reverse fixture, also a win for Udinese. 3-2 it was in Parma back in match day number 4. Udinese on the back of that 1 over Lecce, back-to-back clean sheets. Parma on the back of that 2-0 win over Bologna, of course. The odds, 11-9 on is your Udinese, 15-4 is your Parma, 11-4 is the draw here. I'm going with a 0-0. Both guys, both teams coming into this with at least a clean sheet on the most recent game. So we'll see how that pans out. Monza up against Torino, coming out on Sunday, March the 2nd at the Stadio Briatano. Monza now back under the stewardship of Alessandro Nesta, still winless in the last 6 matches. They're rock bottom, 20th with 14 points for the season. Up against Torino and Paolo Vanoli, they are 11th right now, 31 points for the season, just 1 defeat in the last 6. They played Monza 13 times since 1997. They've won 8, Torino has. Monza 0. There's been 5 draws between the two sides. Last time around over at Monza, it was a 1-1 draw back in November 2023. The reverse fixture this season, also a 1-1 draw. That was back in November. Torino on the back of that 2-1 win over Milan. Monza losing to Roma most recently. They haven't scored a goal in back-to-back games. They've only scored 1 in the last 6. Goodness gracious me. The odds right here right now. Monza 10-3 on for the victory. 21-20 is your Torino. 23-10 is the draw here. I'm going with a 1-0 win. Torino. Monza are in trouble. Bologna. That's right. Up against Cagliari, coming at you over at the Renato D'Alia. Bologna, busy week this week, taking on Milan earlier, now taking on Cagliari. Of course, could boost their chances for Champions League or European football anyway next season. They've played, actually currently find themselves in 8th, 41 points for the season. They've just lost once in the last 6. Up against Cagliari under David Nicola, 42% form. They're 15th right now. They've won twice in the last 6. They've got 25 points for the campaign. They've played Bologna 37 times since 1996. 16 wins Bologna, 12 wins Cagliari. There's been 9 draws between the two sides. Last time around over at this very venue, it was a 2-1 win for Bologna back in September 2023. The reverse fixture in Cagliari was a 2-0 win for Bologna way back in October. Cagliari on the back of that 1-0 win, 1-0 loss to Juventus, back-to-back games without a goal. Bologna losing to Parma most recently. With the odds here, 5, what are we looking at? 8-5 on for Bologna. They are massively fancied here. 21-4 is your away win. 16-5 is the draw. Bologna should win this one. 2 winners. Could be a big week for them as they close in on those European spots. Let's go to Genoa. They're up against Empoli. That's right, coming at you on the 2nd of March. The Luigi Ferraris. Genoa under Patrick Vieira. They are 12th. 30 points for the season. They won 2 of the last 6 up against Empoli. Roberto Di Viesa. They're 18th for the table. Winless in at least the last 10 games. They played Genoa 28 times since 1999. 9 wins Genoa, 7 wins Empoli. There's been 12 draws between the two sides. Last time around over at this very venue, it was a 1-1 draw back in December 2023. The reverse fixture in Empoli back in December was a 2-1 win for Genoa, who are unbeaten against Empoli over the last 6. However, they've only won twice and they've drawn 4. In fact, they've only won once in the last 5. Goodness gracious me. Empoli on the back of that 5-0 loss to Atalanta. They've gone 1-2-3. 3 games without a goal. They've conceded 10 goals in the last 3 games combined. Genoa on the back of that 1-0 loss to Inter most recently. The odds right here, right now, Genoa even steams for the victory here. 7-2 is your Empoli, and of course, what are we looking at? 2-1 on, or 2-1 is your draw here. Something like that. Going to go with a 1-0 win. Genoa taking it to the house, continuing that run of results. Roma, they're up against Como this weekend over at the Stadio Olimpico. Roma under Claudio Ranieri, 9th in the table, 40 points for the season. Unbeaten in the last 5 up against Como. Cesc Fabregas, back-to-back wins. They are 13th in the table, 28 points for the season. They've played Roma 3 times since 2002. They've won twice, they've lost once, and they've drawn none. Last time around at Roma, it was a 2-1 win back in November 2002. The reverse fixture, a 2-0 win for Como back in December. Como on the back of that impressive 2-1 win over Napoli and make it back-to-back wins. Roma on the back of also 3 wins on the spin, beating Monza last time around. The odds for this one, 20-19 on is your Roma, 3-1 is your Como, 29-11 is your draw. I'm going Roma victory here, 2-1 win. It'll be close, but Roma will have too much fuel in the tank. Next up, Milan. What a week. Goodness gracious me. Up against Lazio, the Giuseppe Meazza. Milan under Sergio Conceição. For now, he might be sacked after the game on Thursday. They sit 7th right now, 41 points for the season. Just won once in the last 4. Up against Lazio, Marco Baroni. They are winners in the last 3. They are 5th with 47 points for the season. They played Milan 74 times since 1993. Milan have won 34. Lazio 15. It's been 25 draws between the two sides. Last time around at the Giuseppe Meazza, it was a 2-0 win for Milan back in September. The reverse fixture was a draw over at Rome. Lazio on the back of that 2-0 loss to Internazionale in the Coppa Italia quarter-final. Milan losing to Torino last time around. The odds here for this one, 15-14 is your Milan, 14-5 is your Lazio, 14-5 also the draw. Going to go with a 2-1 win. Maybe, just maybe, Conceição will get out of this and remain in the hot seat moving forward. And then finally, we have Juventus. We have Verona coming to on Monday night. That's right, over in Turin. Juventus under Thiago Motta. They are 4th in the table, just 1 defeat in the last 6. They got 49 points up against Verona. Paolo Zanetti, they are 14th in the table, 26 points for the season, and have played Juventus 30 times since 1996. 20 wins for Juventus, 4 wins for Verona. Has been 6 draws between the two sides. Last time around over at Juve, it was a 1-0 win way back in October 2023. The reverse fixture, a 3-0 win for Juventus over in Verona back in August. Juventus on the back of that 1-0 win over Cagliari. Meanwhile, Verona also picking up a cheeky win against Fiorentina. Goodness gracious me. But the odds here for this one, we have... what are we looking at here? 90-6 on for Juventus. 92 is the draw. 10-1 is your long shot stats for Verona. They're not going to win. Juventus will take it to the house. And if I'm right, this is what the table will look like, give or take. Internazionale will be top of the pops. Atalanta will be 2nd. Napoli will be to 3rd. Goodness gracious me. And Juventus will be in the Champions League. Going down, Monza, Venezia, Empoli. That's my predictions, guys. Make sure you get yours in as well. Look forward to seeing what you guys will do. Make sure you drop them down below. Also get your predictions in. But of course, I'll see you when we return. Until then, I'm out.